critics, just admit it. You absolutely love this thing that you once called a pile of crap. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and we're going to be stepping away from my normal topic of discussion to talk about this beautiful thing I love called the Orville. Okay, when it comes to the Orville, here's what happens. See, I do not have regular TV. I do not. I have actually only a TV where I watch movies on. I do not have any basic TV. I just watch DVDs, and I've got tons of those. So I found out about the Orville in a very indirect route, and how I always find out about good TV shows out now. I went over to my dad's house and my stepmom, and my dad said, let me show you two shows. First, he showed me Star Trek Discovery, which turned it on, and he's like, yeah, there's some really strong, powerful women in here. And when it first came up, I was like, I saw a black and an Asian woman. I said, oh my god, this is really exciting. I like this already. That happiness lasted for maybe about 20 minutes before I saw that this was a show that was about pandering to the woman so much that it did many things I do not like. One, had the woman be responsible for things or starting problems that probably never would have gotten started if it were not for her, to the point being a strong woman to the point where she can betray or backstab someone. Nobody can trust anybody, and it's kind of some Mary Sue situations going on there. And again, the idea of we women are strong and that's the only way women can be. And I understand the impulse of making women strong to the point where they're always strong. But it's doing this. Star Trek Discovery did it in that stereotypical way of this is what a woman must be. She is this just hard to the point where she has no weakness or she has no real solid identity. Nothing that makes her a full fleshed out person. Now, it could have progressed as the series, kept going, but I admit, after the first episode and a half, I was like, episode to episode and a half, I was like, this is just social justice workers. I was excited for 5 seconds, but none of these characters act like real people, have real conversations, have the flaws that we have. Everything is just so blah and kind of ugly to look at sometimes. It was beautiful to look at in some ways, but ugly in others. And I was afraid to admit that I was not crazy about it. Then my father he just pulled up the first 2 episodes of The Orville. I loved the show immediately. The Orville, and this is amazing to me because I found out until long after, while I was looking around here on YouTube, that The Orville was hated by critics, but loved by fans. As opposed to Star Trek Discovery, which critics absolutely loved, but the fans were a little up against, which I kind of understood very quickly after watching it. I really did. But the Orville, I saw why people absolutely loved this show. Absolutely loved it. It made all the sense in the world. These are 3-dimensional characters who have personalities, talk about things we would talk about, make references to pop culture. These are real people, but more importantly, these are real women as well as real men, but it also has strong women in it. Here's another thing. Star Trek Discovery, where the critics praised it for having these strong women who they could connect to, and after watching The Orville, it's like, you could not connect to any of these strong women. You could not connect to Dr. Finn, or Alara, or Commander Grayson. You could not connect to any of these 3 women. Are you freaking serious? Were you guys paid to hate this? Were you paid to? Or were you doing that thing where you did not understand what you were getting, so you had to put a label on it very quickly? You see, the Orville has tragic elements to it, it has comedic elements to it, has dramatic elements to it. It has a lot of different things in it, as well as being a sci-fi. It's not a thing you can label very quickly. And I've seen in the world that people have sometimes a disdain or a quick contempt for things they cannot fully label too quickly. Or did you make a assumption about this before you really got into the show, critics? Is that what happened? Did you make a quick assumption about it without fully getting into it? Because it is a great show, but what makes it wonderful, it's a show, The Orville is a show where men and women are great at the same time. It's not women are amazing and men suck, or women are always right even when they're wrong, but men should always just follow what they do. No, sometimes in the Orville, women are right. Sometimes women are wrong. Sometimes men are right. Then men are wrong. And both women and men are allowed to be equally dramatic as well as equally funny. They're all allowed to have these things about their personality, and that's why the Orville is so wonderful. And then you've got great stories. Like the Orville, I've heard people refer to it as the real Star Trek. It is. It is Star Trek the way we always wanted it of the 21st century. With Star Trek, it's Star Trek with 21st century humor. It is very good at telling stories, but the Orville is also very bright and beautiful to look at, and I love that. Sometimes you get sick of these dark, dank, shows where everything's just depressing to look at. I like brightness. I love color. It just is very Star Trek-y. Seth MacFarlane did a great job in bringing this all together. The cast is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to get into that later. The characters are wonderful. Again, Dr. Finn is so amazing. Alara, I loved her. And the replacement they have for Alara in the second season, which I gotta learn the name of that girl, the new Selayan, she's wonderful too. And Commander Grayson, I did not know how I was going to feel about her when it first started because she, cheated on Ed. But I'll explain in my next video why she actually is a great character. And then you've got, again, Ed Mercer, the captain. He is wonderful. You've got Malloy, hilarious, and he's talented at being a flyer. Lamar, John Lamar, you think he's a slacker, but he's actually a genius. And then Bortus, he provides a humor and a different dynamic to this that you would never have expected. Isaac, about the machine, like Data, but becoming more human as the show progresses. And then in Season 2, whoa, the things that happen with him and Dr. Finn, glorious! Glorious! I love it! But the Orville, it's just, critics, take another look at it. It's okay that you were wrong and you made a mistake. We all sometimes make mistakes. We make quick decisions or judgments on something because of what we are expected to feel for it, or what we are told to feel or ordered to feel. Or we do things and make these quick decisions for the sake of looking smart. But it turns out we were stupid all along because we made and I know it's hard to admit you're wrong. God, I hate admitting when I'm wrong, but I've been wrong before. But I do not think I'm wrong about the Orville. This show is spellbindingly good, and I think critics take another look at it. But you'll find that just maybe you were mistaken, and that maybe all along you loved the Orville, and you have to give Seth MacFarlane credit for what he did. I know we're in a world now where it's fun to pick on Seth MacFarlane. I never understood that impulse. He's never seemed to do anything bad to me. He seemed to, really put a lot of effort into things he does. But we're in a world now, sometimes I've seen, where we love ironically. We don't always love people who commit. We love people sometimes who do things in a lax and careless way. Seth MacFarlane did not. The cast of the Orville did not. They were awesome. And for that, I think they did a great job, and the writers to this and the directors and producers were perfect. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Have you guys seen the Orville? If you haven't, I'm amazed you were watching this video. Kudos to you for loving the show or not loving the show. And again, if you do not like the show, that's fine. I just do. You have your reasons, I have mine. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye, guys.